old nerd has a soft spot for you. It was another ordinary day in Max class. Jungkook, the cool nerd, sat in his usual spot at the back of the classroom, his face buried in his textbook. Everyone avoided him. Everyone knew the unspoken rule: never talk to Jungkook unless you want to be humiliated. Taeyang weren't exactly friends with him or anyone, really. He liked keeping it to himself, but today was different. The teacher handed out a pop quiz. He stared at the question blankly. He might as well have written in an alien language. Desperate, he turned to a person next to him, Jungkook. Thinking, Taeyang asked, "What's the answer to number 3? The answer is B. He replied coldly, but surprisingly without biting his head off. His sharp tone was still there, but it lacked the usual cruelty. Did Jungkook just help him? The class, Taeyang hesitated by his desk. "Thanks for your leave," he said softly. Jungkook barely glanced up. "Don't mention it." For the first time, Taeyang noticed the faint dark circles under his eyes. He always seemed so put together, but maybe he was not. The next day, the teacher assigned a group project. 2-year horror and maybe a slight intro. Taeyang and Jungkook were paired up. "Great," he muttered under his breath, clearly annoyed. "We can split the work eventually," Taeyang said. Jungkook signed. "I will handle the math. Just try not to mess up the presentation." Over the next week, both worked together. At first, he was cold as ever, but slowly, Taeyang noticed the cracks in his icy demo. He explained complex equations patiently when I struggled, and once I even caught him smiling when I made joke about the project topic. One late evening, during a study session at the library, Taeyang muttered the courage to ask, "Why do you act so cold all the time?" He stiffened but did not lash out like I expected. After a moment, he sighed, running a hand through his hair. "It's easier. People leave me alone. Less expectations, less disappointments." Taeyang frowned. "Doesn't it get lonely?" He did not answer, but the silence said everything. As the project deadline approached, I started noticing subtle changes. Jungkook began imitating small talk. He even laughed softly but genuinely when I made jokes about parallel lines. One day, as you walked home together after a study session, he stopped abruptly. "Thanks for not giving up on me," he said, avoiding your eyes. You were taken back. "What do you mean?" "Most people don't bother." "You did." The day of presentation arrived. I was nervous, but Jungkook gave me a small note of assurance. Before I started, the presentation went flawlessly, earning the highest grade in the class. Afterward, Jungkook surprised everyone by giving you credit for the teamwork during the part of his speech. A few weeks later, winter had fully settled in, blanketing a town in snow. Jungkook and Taeyang were walking home together after another late night study session. The air was crisp, their breath visible in the cold. Jungkook's usual guarded demeanor seemed to melt in the warmth of Taeyong's chatter. "You ever just want to stop thinking about school for a while?" Taeyong asked, kicking a patch of snow. "All the time," Jungkook admitted. "Then let's do something fun," Taeyong suggested, his eyes sparkling mysteriously. "Like what?" Jungkook asked. Without answering, Taeyong bent down, scooped up a handful of snow, hurled it at Jungkook. It hit him squarely on the chest. For a moment, Jungkook just stared at him incredulously. Then a small smile fled among his face. "You're so dead." Before Taeyong could react, Jungkook retailed the snowball landing on Taeyong's shoulder. Its startless, playful exchange quickly turned into a full-blown snowball fight. Both of them laughed breathlessly as they dogged each other. When they finally collapsed on their snowbank, panting and grinning, Taeyong turned to Jungkook. "See? Fun." Jungkook shook his head, but the smile did not fade. "You're ridiculous, and you're smiling." Taeyong pointed at sympathetically. Jungkook's gaze softened. "Yeah, I guess I am." Sentiment, Taeyong and Jungkook grew inseparable. Jungkook's sharp edges softened even more around Taeyong, though he still kept his guard up with others. One evening, as they sat side by side in Taeyong's room, working on yet another project, Taeyong decided to take a leap. He began hesitantly, fiddling with the corner of his notebook. Jungkook stubbed his nose, its dark gaze meeting Taeyong's. "I was thinking," Jungkook's voice fluttered, but he forced himself to continue. "Maybe we should hang out sometime, but not for school, but for us." And Jungkook just stared at him, then to Taeyong's surprise, he framed brush kept up his sorry asking me out. Taeyong's eyes widened. "What? No? I mean, yes. Maybe," he groaned, burying his face in his hand. "I don't know." "You're different," Jungkook said suddenly. Taeyong glanced at them. "Different? How?" "You didn't give up," Jungkook said, his voice quieter than usual. "Even when I tried to push you away, you stayed." Taeyong smiled softly. "That's because I saw something worth staying for."